All right, let's talk about a classic problem. You're looking for a safe place to put your money, but the idea of another fixed deposit with those low returns just makes you sigh. If that sounds like you, then you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving into 3 government-backed options that are just as safe but could give your money way more room to grow. Look, for most of us, the #1 rule of investing is simple. Don't lose the money you've worked so hard to earn. We want security, we want that peace of mind, we want to know our capital is safe and sound. And that's the trade-off, isn't it? The price of that safety is often returns that are, well, kind of boring. You know your money isn't going anywhere, but you also know it's not really going anywhere, if you know what I mean. It's not growing as fast as you need it to. So what if you could have both? What if you could get that government-backed security and get better returns? Well, you can. So let's jump in and explore 3 really powerful alternatives to the good old FD. First up, we've got a fantastic choice for anyone who's patient and playing the long game. It's called the Public Provident Fund, or as pretty much everyone calls it, PPF. That's right, the Public Provident Fund. This has been a go-to for savvy long-term investors for decades, and for some very, very good reasons. And here's the first number that should make you sit up and pay attention. 7.1%. Right off the bat, that's already looking a whole lot better than many of the FD rates out there, isn't it? So how's it work? Well, you've got to know it's a marathon, not a sprint. We're talking a 15-year lock-in period. But the huge plus is that it's backed by the government, so it is incredibly safe. And it's not totally inflexible. If you're in a real pinch, you can take some money out after the 5th year. But you know what? The interest rate and the safety, that's not even the main event. The real superpower of the PPF, the thing that gets financial experts really excited, is its unique triple tax benefit. Just think about any normal investment. Usually, there are 3 places where you can get taxed. When you first put your money in, on the interest you earn every year, and then on the final chunk of cash you take out at the end. And this is where the magic happens with PPF. The money you invest, that gives you a tax deduction. The interest it earns year after year, totally tax-free. And that big lump sum you get at maturity, you guessed it, also completely 100% tax-free. That's why it's called an EEE, or exempt investment. It's tax-free from start to finish. Okay, but maybe you're thinking 15 years? Wow, that's a long time. I get it. So for those goals that are a little closer, let's talk about our second option, the National Savings Certificate, or NSC. The National Savings Certificate. And this one is super easy to get your hands on. You can just walk into your local post office or even some banks to get one. And whoa, check out that return, 7.7%. That's even higher than the PPF. So what's the trade-off here? It's all about the timeline. The lock-in period is just 5 years. That makes it absolutely perfect for goals like a down payment on a car or saving for that big family vacation. And just like the PPF, it's government guaranteed, so it's very low risk, and you get that nice tax deduction under Section 80C on your investment. All right, finally, let's look at option number 3, and this one is specifically built for one of the biggest goals we all have, retirement. I'm talking about the National Pension System, or NPS. The National Pension System. You know, the name really says it all. This is a tool designed from the ground up to help you build a solid retirement fund in a really disciplined way. Now, you gotta understand, NPS is a different kind of animal compared to our first 2. While PPF and NSC give you guaranteed fixed returns, NPS returns are actually linked to the markets. Now, that does mean there's a little bit more risk involved, but the flip side is the potential for much higher returns over the long run. And beyond the potential for higher growth, NPS has another fantastic trick up its sleeve. It offers an additional tax deduction that you just can't get with other standard investments. And that magic number is 50,000 rupees. This extra deduction falls under a special section 80CCD1B. And get this, it's on top of the regular 1.5 lakh limit. For anyone in a higher tax bracket, this is a huge, huge benefit. So how do you get your money out when you retire? Well, at age 60, you can withdraw up to 60% of your entire fund as a tax-free lump sum. The other 40% has to be used to buy something called an annuity, which is basically a product that pays you a regular fixed income like your own private pension for the rest of your life. Okay, phew. We have covered a lot of ground. So let's do a quick recap and put all 3 of these options side by side. It'll make the differences crystal clear. This really puts it all into perspective, right? When it comes to returns, you've got the guaranteed rates of PPF and NSC versus the variable but potentially higher returns of NPS. For your timeline, PPF is the 15-year long haul, NSC is perfect for 5-year goals, and NPS is all about retirement. And for taxes, you've got the incredible triple tax-free status of PPF versus that unique extra 50,000 rupee deduction you get with NPS. Each one has its own clear strength. So we've laid out all the facts and the figures. We've compared them based on your timeline, how much risk you're comfortable with, and your tax-saving needs. So the next step? Well, that's all about you. So what's it going to be? The long-term, completely tax-free powerhouse that is PPF? The simple midterm high-yielder NSC? Or the retirement-focused wealth creator NPS? The right choice really just depends on your own financial journey. So the only question left is, what's your next move?